Welcome to Logan, Utah, and the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum for this Mountain West Conference matchup. 26th meeting all time as the New Mexico Lobos visit the Utah State Aggies. Hi, everybody. I'm Trey Bender alongside the former Illinois State and Western Michigan head coach Bob Donewald. Glad you're with us. These two teams so far have hung their hat on defense, but the big story this week, Stu Morrill stepping down after 17 seasons at the helm, effective at the end of this season.
Trey, he's one of the truly outstanding basketball coaches in the country, and I don't know who they're going to bring in, but that man has got some big shoes to fill.
Well, a guy that really has been the story for the Lobos this season, Deshaun Delaney, their leading scorer and rebounder.
Delaney is that mid-range basketball player. Now, he can shoot from three, but he's at his best when he can break you down off the dribble, go into the basket, get to the rim, and he also does a good job of getting to the free throw line.
Now, he's a senior. The Aggies have a sophomore leading the way, Jalen Moore.
Very athletic. Now, he leads their team in rebounding and scoring. He can knock down that three, and you'll see him shoot it often. He gets to the basket. They'll post him up inside. He's a very versatile, very good offensive scorer.
Handler number 14 and 16.
And the lineups look this way, and you'll notice a change for the Lobos. Sam Logwood, the freshman, getting his first career start in place of Xavier Adams at the off-guard position. Utah State has gone with those five all of the way. David Collette having a sensational redshirt freshman year, and he's very important for this team in the post. We'll see some man, we'll see some zone for both teams. Neither has shot it well this season. It'll be interesting to see what happens here in Logan.
What is really going to be interesting, the zones, how you attack. Will Utah State go down inside? Will they stay out on the floor? Will New Mexico find enough ways to score to make it interesting?
Craig Neal, new deal signed in July through 2020. First Lobo rookie coach to go to the NCAAs. They were Mountain West Conference tournament champs a year ago. That was their third straight tournament championship. And he has a different team this year. And Stu Morrill, 17 seasons. School will conduct a national search for his replacement at the end of this year. The dean of Mountain West coaches. He's one of 14 active coaches with 600 wins.
Well, we're going to be one less after this year then, aren't we?
Yeah, you know, he's done a tremendous job, and this has traditionally been a great environment here in Logan.
I tell you what, it's one of the great college experiences. It's a shame everybody can't come here and be a part of this.
Student section filling up 40% of the seats here. They surround us and behind the basket as Utah State has possession to open things up here. Julian Perry on the drive. And a foul called on New Mexico. Perry, the freshman from McKinley, Texas. Both of these teams have been solid on the defensive end. That's something they've been proud of so far this season.
And Coach Morrill has been very concerned about making sure his kids don't shoot the ball too quickly. Turn it over, control the momentum of the game through the use of passing and waiting long time for a shot.
Darius Perkins missing on a three, as the Lobos have their first possession. Hugh Greenwood, the leader, he's had to fill a different role this year, more of a shooter than he's been in previous seasons, and their outside shot has not been there all year long. This has been there. It's Delaney on the drive and the bucket, and a chance for the three-point play.
That's Delaney's game, and if you'll notice, the entire offense was up and gave him the opportunity to drive the ball to the basket. You can see there's nobody down there, so it was just, hey, I'm going to break it down and go right to the bucket. And as I said, he does a good job of getting to the free throw line.
So important, leading in scoring, rebounding, field goal percentage. Big fan of Scottie Pippen. Wears that 33 in honor of Pippen, a Chicago native. And he completes the three-point play. They're very good at the four position, at the wing position. They've got a lot of drivers and slashers.
They are a mid-range basketball team. They aren't really good at long range. But if they can drive the ball to the basket and throw the ball down inside, they're very effective.
Here's a guy we highlighted more, harassed by Williams, and Devin Williams with a steal. And then he steps on the line, and he'll go back to the Aggies.
Moore tried to go one-on-one and really kind of lost the ball, and Williams was right there just to pluck it away from him.
You're so accustomed to seeing Utah State shoot a high percentage. They're only 42% as a team this year. They have shot it well from beyond the arc, though, at 37%.
Utah State wants to control tempo. They want to move the ball. They'll set a lot of ball screens, as you see, and then they'll just reverse the ball, reverse the ball, reverse the ball.
Perkins, a first-year Aggie, over to Chris Smith. He's a junior from Sacramento. He lets fire and throws it for the first points for the Aggies.
Collette set a very good ball screen, and he was wide open because the Lobos didn't adjust well and put pressure on the shooter.
Just underway from D. Glenn Smith spectrum, where Utah State is 6-2 this year. Delaney on the cut again. He is tough to stop. He gets it in there, and that's the second bucket.
Trey, what's interesting, that was against the zone, and he was able to take the ball all the way to the basket against the zone.
You don't have to settle against a zone, and they're showing you that here in the early stages. Jumper on the way, and fouled is Julian Perry, and the freshman will have an opportunity with 3 free throws coming up.
I thought Perry did a really good job of falling down because there wasn't much contact, and he put the official in a position where the official's got to make that decision.
Coach,
and I think Coach Neal is saying, wait a minute there.
Sam Logwood picks up the foul as Perry, a 83% free throw shooter coming in, misses on the first one. This team has really struggled. Last 3 games, they've only shot 45% from the stripe.
See, they're a young basketball team, and that happens. But I think it's interesting. The Aggies played one possession of man-to-man and immediately went to that zone because they know the Lobos are not an outstanding perimeter shooter. But I'll tell you what, if the Lobos can drive the ball against the zone, they're going to create problems for that zone.
More frustrations for Perry. He was 15 of 18 from the line prior to those 3 misses. He comes up empty.
Now the Aggies go back man-to-man.
Logwood, an athletic wing from Indianapolis. Greenwood dumps it on the block for Williams. Spin, and a beauty against Moore. He can't get it. Follows it up, no good. And Smith pulls away the rebound.
Lobos really like to take the ball inside, Trey. If they can get that ball down in there all night, that's going to really create problems for the Aggies.
They should own the glass. They are a much better rebounding team. That's been the Aggies' problem this year, is rebounding the basketball.
Well, they're not as big either. I mean, they're just not as long.
That'll help Perry's confidence. Misses 3 free throws and knocks down the 3-pointer.
Penetration, defense collapse, pitch to the shooter. Perry's wide open.
It's his 13th 3 of the season. In the corner, left alone. Jumper is short for Delaney. Perkins. Moore. They can do this. They find range for 3. They're a different basketball team.
So much of their offense, 36% of it, is from three-point land. They're at home. They're a young team. They get emotional. They can drill the basketball.
Moore's hit 20 threes this season after knocking down that one. 6-0 run for the Aggies. And a steal. Collette. Perry. 8-0 run, and they're feeding off the home fans here in Logan.
Very good timeout by Coach Neal, because, you know, he's had difficulty getting his team to play well early, and he doesn't want to get too far behind, so he's trying to control it right now. They look a little disorganized against that zone and turned it over too easily, and they've got to take away that three-point shot. See, the defense is not there. Again, penetration, the defense collapse, shooter's wide open.
And Logan is a complete player, and defense turning to offense here.
Simple play, jarred it loose with their defense. There was some confusion. Do I penetrate? Then Williams was too blasé about picking the ball up. He didn't go after it strong enough, and the Aggies jarred it loose and got 2 more.
And a 5-2 lead. That was erased quickly. Just prior to the first TV timeout, Coach Neal taking the timeout, trying to calm the nerves here. 4 out of 5 from the field for Utah State.
You see Coach Neal talking to Greenwood there, and he wasn't happy with what was going on, and Greenwood has got to lead this team. Got to get that ball into that high post.
Ball kicked.
And you've got to be able to penetrate those gaps against that thing and pull two defensive players together. Coach Morrow's going to stay in this zone right now.
Delaney not a threat from outside that arc. And now we have an offensive foul call. 3 seconds is the call on Jet in the lane. And Stu Morrill has his Aggies playing some inspired basketball. First TV timeout. Utah State has a 10-5 lead. One of these teams will go to 3-1 in conference.
Demonstrated these qualities during the 2014 edition.
The Aggie student section fired up an 8-0 run of the last minute 17, and Utah State has an early lead here. Slow starts have been a problem for the Lobos. 8 of the last 12, and it was a concern for Coach Neal at the shoot-around today. And his team is only down 5, but he can't be pleased with the way this one has started.
No, his zone attack is not very good, and his defense is not very good because he's allowing the Aggies wide open threes off of dribble penetration. You got to get those two things resolved. It's going to be a long night.
They will employ this press from time to time and then drop back into a zone, and that's the look they're going with here, the 2-3. Good ball movement from the Aggies. Perry for 3.
Perry for 3.
Cardinal rule, if you have 3 3-point shooters on the floor, stay out of the zone.
Perry's 36%, Perkins 37%, and Smith 42% from beyond the arc.
That's what you got to do. See, that's
and
what they got to do.
Boy, he is so quick.
Oh, yeah. The last time he settled for the 3. This time he went back to who he is and scored. And you can penetrate against this zone.
Perry again, this time off the back iron. Delaney the rebound. Delaney has all 7 of New Mexico's points. Here's Tim Jacobs, the junior walk-on. Goodman, blocked by
Lobos basketball.
Really good defense. The defense rotated over. Goodman didn't have really a good angle, but if he'd have made one more feed, you just see Agent really open down inside. He could have dropped it and had a dunk shot.
25 blocks for Collette. He leads the team in that category. Delaney spinning off the mark. A Jet offensive rebound and a chance for the 3-point play. They are so big up there, they can do that all night long.
And see, it was dribble penetration. The defense reacts to the penetrator driving to the basket and gives the big men an opportunity to go to the basket and get good offensive rebounding position.
A Jet averages over 5 boards per game. Family of 12 from the South Sudan completing the 3-point play. His family in the middle of a civil war there. No word from the family in 7 years, and the Lobos are now his family. Important time for him in college.
2-2-1 zone press. Not really trying to steal it. Just trying to take some time off the clock.
They enter it into Collette. Pump fake. Shot off the mark. And a Jet reaches out and grabs the loose ball.
See, that length really bothers him.
Good pass ahead to Goodman. Blocked by Collette. Goodman stays with it. And he's fouled. Great block by Collette. This was a great entry pass from Greenwood to set it up.
Collette did a great job of hustling back down the floor and making a very good defensive play. Goodman should have dunked the ball to begin with and didn't, but he stayed with it and made a good offensive play, and he's at the free throw line.
They're excited about this kid's upside, a skilled four. He dealt with concussion-like symptoms early in the year, but has had some big games. He had 19 against George Mason, and they think eventually he can be a power forward they count on a lot.
Oh, I think he could be a very good basketball player, and his size, his strength, he's got a lot of skill.
It's 1 out of 2, and after trailing 10-5, they're within a bucket now. There's that pressure again.
Need somebody flashing up into the middle of that thing.
Perkins ahead to Moore. Makes you work a little bit harder, and then you have to work against the zone.
And they got Moore right into the middle, making a poor pass, but a good idea, because it was, you can go high-low against the zone, and the Aggies will work that high post area quite often.
Just off the mark on the pass. Moore so valuable in a lot of areas, and passing one of those just wasn't there with that one. Here's Greenwood.
Back into a man-to-man now, the Aggies. They'll change their defenses all night.
Greenwood feeding Goodman on the block, and he lays it in. That's 2 excellent passes from Greenwood.
Greenwood will come off screens, and it's just 3 men working inside while the 2 guys stay out on top.
We're tied an 8-0 run for the Lobos. The answer over the last 2 minutes. Collette doubled. Perkins for 3. Four out of 6 for beyond the arc.
Inside, defense collapse, pitch back out to a shooter. Greenwood was slow getting back out there.
Perkins' first points. This was a concern for Coach Neal, working against zone with their struggles outside shooting this season. They go inside. Goodman, dump off, a Jet. Misses the bunny.
Didn't have good balance, was leaning back. Should have taken the extra second and then just dumped it. But they're doing a better job, the Lobos, of attacking the zone, getting the ball in the middle, and then in the high post, and being able to play out of it.
Not a great start. We talked about how the Lobos have struggled the first 4 minutes, but within 3 here, they've answered it a little bit. Got their feet under them here on the road. This is Trace Curidan getting some time, going deep into the bench for Utah State. Shot clock at 8. Moore thought about it. Now he'll drive it, and he's fouled. 3-point game. Jordan Goodman, the 6'9" junior from Temple Hills, Maryland, making an impact in the early stages for the Lobos. A 16-13 Utah State lead here in Logan. It's been the inside play of the Lobos against the outside shooting of Utah State. Kind of what we thought might happen at the outset of this one.
You see, I think that's what Coach Neal did when he took that timeout in part, is he said, fellas, we got to get the ball inside. You got to figure out ways. Dribble penetration, high post, driving the ball to the basket to score, and then all of a sudden they start doing that, and thus they were more productive offensively. And you're right, the Aggies are looking to shoot that ball long range, and if they continue to do that, it just means that the Lobos have got to recover quickly.
Well, this kid, Jalen Moore, an all-conference candidate, active, long, athletic. He has 13 straight games in double figures. And they're a very young team, but he did start 5 games a year ago, and really one of the experienced guys, their go-to guy, and he has his team in front now by 5.
And at times they show that. They show that they're a young team. Can't stand there and at the 10-second line dribble the ball. He almost lost Jacobs on his point.
Arthur Edwards is checked in for New Mexico. Gets it to Delaney. Jacobs has it with the shot clock at 10. High screen set by Nganga. 4 on the shot clock. They're going to have to fire one up. Goodman recognizes it and misses. But a rebound for the Lobos as again they control the glass. Edwards to Nganga. Boy, they've had a lot of looks close they've missed.
Well, they're in a big hurry instead of taking the extra second and completing the play. But you're right. I mean, you got to complete those plays.
Sean Harris is checked in, the 6-year senior with that red crew cut. Jumper is good. He's had a couple from range.
He was wide open. He set a back screen and then stepped out, and the defense got caught with a cutter and left the leading scorer for your opponent wide open.
5 of 7 3-point shooting for Utah State. Lobos have hit just 2 of their last 8 from the field. Goodman missed another one inside, and Nganga, they finally get one to go.
Got it into the high post, though, and was able to lay it in. You're right, he missed it. But the follow-up, that's their forte, their ability to go after the ball on the glass.
Again, the inside versus the outside's been the story. They're winning the rebounding battle. New Mexico is 10-4 as we near the 10-minute mark. Curidan. Harris backing in Nganga. Fall-away shot is long, and Nganga the rebound. Nganga's a big body at 250.
You won't see the Lobos double up on the post much. They better stay if you got an offensive foul.
That's an Nganga working against Harris.
Nganga just used that left arm and tried to clear some space.
His first 15th foul.
Here's that. See, getting into that. He's even a little bit. He's trying to get position, but hello, you can't use that arm like that, and he really didn't need to.
6'10", 250. Yeah, he's a big guy, rim protector too. Easy to spot him in the paint.
Lobos average 5 block shots a game. The Aggies will bring their big men out on the floor, so you got 5 men out.
Collette has it stripped. Xavier Adams stepping in front, and he's fouled by Collette. Adams, who had been their starter at the off-guard position with a nice defensive play.
What I think the Aggies are part of trying to do, Trey, is invert. In other words, bring the big men out on the floor, and thus the big men for the Lobos have to go out there. And so now you've got room to drive the ball to the basket because the big guys are way out on the floor.
Maybe a lazy pass there. Nice steal by Adams. And then in the process, Collette loosed his contact lens. He's trying to get that inserted correctly. And he'll have to go to the bench here at the 9:20 mark. Edwards coming off a dislocated finger, travels with it. Westergaard is not in game shape yet. First action was against Colorado State. Dislocated the ring finger on his right hand against Texas A&M, trying to get back into form. That's tough when you get that time off.
You're trying to go too quickly. It was an easy call. You and I could have made that call.
I defer to you on that one. Sam Orchard. In the corner, the 3 misses. Off the mark, Darius Perkins on that one. Here's Joe Furstinger. The 6'9" post against Harris. Edwards for 3. And foul called on Utah State.
Edwards could have bypassed that shot. He could have gone back down inside. Now he's a 33% three-point shooter. But, you know, the clock isn't down. That isn't your game. Get it back down inside.
Repost a guy, right?
Yeah.
Saying?
Very good. I'm impressed with your terminology or phraseology.
I picked it up from you. Here's Furstinger against Moore.
He's got to take it and go on.
Orchard guarding Greenwood.
Got a lot of 3 out and 2 big men inside for the Lobos. And then they'll come out and ball screen. Oh, you got to get it in there.
Good pass from Jacobs. Furstinger, pump fakes, can't get it to go. And Ganga on the inside stays with it. And that drops. It hasn't been easy. They're getting a lot of opportunities inside.
Well, if so much of their first shots are rushed or afraid of getting it blocked. Go through people.
4-point game, dominating the glass, 14-4, New Mexico. Orchard. In-state kid over to Curidan. 18-footers off the mark, Furstinger the rebound. This is a deep New Mexico team. They'll play 11, and that could bode well for them as the conference season rolls on.
I told Coach Morrow to keep a game program close so he'd know who was on the floor.
Here's Furstinger.
Oh, he was wide open. They missed him down inside, rolling to the bucket. The Ganga. There he is again.
Against Moore, has a size advantage. Shot clock at 10 for Greenwood. And Ganga on the roll. Hook shot is in. And Ganga is making his presence felt here in the interior for New Mexico.
See, he had a little bit more presence about him. He took a little bit more time, gathered, and he's got an excellent jump hook.
6 points, 5 rebounds for Nganga. Moore for 3. Not that time. And the rebound for Adams. And a foul called. We've got a timeout. 6:49 to go. First half, Stu Morrill's team, 5 of 9 from beyond the arc, and they have a 2-point lead in a good one here in Logan. A 2-point lead for the Aggies thanks to 5 threes, but size clearly in New Mexico's favor. They're taking advantage of it.
Well, without question, Trey, and let me tell you what the Lobos are doing well. They're using ball screens. The defense, Aggies are staying with the ball handler, and now the Lobos can pitch it to a big guy without a defensive man on him, and he's able to go into the paint and now either shoot the ball and even if he misses, the other big guys are there to put it back in the bucket. The Aggies are going to have to adjust there. They're actually getting more off of their ball screens right now than what the Aggies are, because the Aggies are missing shots.
You saw the rebound numbers, plus 12 for New Mexico. Also 16-2 advantage points in the paint. Firstinger's on the floor with Nganga at the 2 post positions. Delaney gets the screen. Greenwood from the corner. That's a big shot for him. He's only shooting it at 28% this season, but he knocks down that shot. That makes this a much better team.
He is the one young man on this team that needs to make a few shots to stretch the defense and has the ability to do it.
And there's an answer from Chris Smith, the junior from Sacramento, their top outside threat. 6-minute mark, 1-point game. One of these teams going to go to 3-1 in the Mountain West. It's so tough to win on the road in this conference. It's going to be an interesting league race.
Back into the zone. Get that ball in that high post. They went the wrong way.
There's their shooter, though. Greenwood, he's hit a couple of them.
They went the right way.
Greenwood with 28 threes. He's launched 95 of them. But he's had some games where he can carry the team a little bit from the outside. As you see the three-point numbers. Moore on the inside. Off the mark. Jacobs does not have numbers.
And the reason I said he went the wrong way, because you had your leading scorer coming out this way. See, ball screens are really bothering the Aggies right now. They're not really sure how to cover it. And I'll tell you how they better cover it. They can slip underneath them because the Lobo shooters are not coming off screens looking to shoot. They're looking to penetrate or pass to the big guy because 2 defensive players are with the dribbler.
Elston Jones, a 6'9" freshman, picking up that foul, putting Greenwood on the line. Perry comes into the game for Orchard in the guard position. 73% free throw shooter, Hugh Greenwood. What a career he's had. They are 40-8 in Mountain West games with him as a starter.
Smart player, clearly understands how to compete. Was put into a different role once Niels went down. Had to handle the ball for a while now. Jacob is put into that role, and he can go back to the 2 guard.
He's got the long locks, you see, put up in a bun there. Of course, Utah State might have the 2 best hairdos in college basketball with Jalen Moore and Sean Harris. 4-point game. And there's a steal. Jacob stepping in front of that pass from Perkins. Greenwood thought about it. Here's Delaney. Short. Here comes Moore the other way. Smith. Perry from the corner. They get another one. What a half for Perry. He has 11 to lead all scorers.
I tell you what, Greenwood stepped in and took a charge. Coach Neal went just about ballistic, and he had every right to be. Both officials followed the ball instead of watching that charge.
Greenwood's knocked down a couple threes. In the corner this time, they go cross-court Delaney. Williams inside. Here's Greenwood again. In and out on that one. And Perry the rebound. Four minutes to go first half. Seesaw battle now in Logan. Smith. Misses from the left wing. Jacobs. He's done a great job, a walk-on, doing the little things right, handling the basketball for the Lobos. Williams at the free throw line. Not there, and the rebound for Jones.
The Aggies have got to figure out a way to get some baskets close. They can't rely just on long-range shots.
Perkins, he'll pull up from 15. That's a good shot right there at the free throw line extended.
That's better. And Jacobs, he was able to go over.
And quickly inside, it's Williams. Greenwood the assist, Williams the finish, and one.
Kevin Williams. Foul is on Elston Jones. His
1 point game. Utah State 9-6, coming off a loss at Fresno State. They had a big win on the road, though, at Boise State, 62-61. Collette hit the game-winning shot, and here he is on the block. Little hook shot, and it rolls in. Soft touch for the big man.
He's very good with that jump hook, and it's one-on-one down in there.
It's his first points of the game.
And Agent had his hands down his side. Why he didn't put his arm up is beyond me.
Delaney drives the paint and throws it down. There's his athleticism on display.
Did you see how quick he got to the bucket? Well, I know you did. It's a kind of a rhetorical question, but boy, can he explode.
9 for Delaney on 4 of 7 shooting. That's deflected out of bounds. It will stay with Utah State. This is a very athletic team, and Delaney is good as anyone.
Watch how he go boom. And his footwork was all set, and he had his drive foot back so that he could push off of it.
Off the entry, deflected ball into the hands of Greenwood. Great start for the Lobos here in the first 2 minutes. Here's Williams. Hook shot is up and in. There's another athletic forward, an undersized 4, but he can make plays on the move.
3 out of the 4 possessions have been drives to the basket by the Lobos.
That is their strength. They're as good as anybody in this league doing it. Here's Smith over to Perry. Moore to the baseline. Can't get it to go. Had a good look at it.
Aggies haven't gotten an offensive rebound yet, Dre. And that's just really hurting them.
Williams again, and on the drive, this is going to be on Collette. He'll pick up the personal, and that's his 3rd here at the 17-11 mark.
Second team foul.
And this could be decision time for Morrill, his big man with 3.
Coach Neal has really communicated, fellas, take it and go to the bucket.
Here's Logwood posting up Perry. Logwood. Williams. Contact. Can't get it to go. Rebound pulled down by Moore. That's deflected. Collette goes to the floor. Loose ball into Moore's hands. Henry Bolton, the freshman, with the basketball now. Front Collette. 3 on the shot clock for Moore. Forces one up there, knocks it down.
He had the presence of mind to know how much time was left, and he took his time and got good balance on that shot.
10 for Moore. Five-point game.
Aggies continue to change defenses. They're back into the zone.
Logwood, good feed to Archette, and he throws it down over Collette.
See the penetration, the defense came up, left him open right underneath the bucket. Excellent pass, and he flushed it.
5 points for the 7-footer. Here's Smith. And stepping in front of that one was Williams. Out of bounds, it'll go to Utah State. The inside play has been the big story tonight. Obach, 8-point lead for New Mexico. It was 7. They awarded Moore a 2 instead of a 3. They said his foot was on the line. So New Mexico off to a great start here in the first 4+ minutes.
New Mexico has found ways against the man and the zone to get the ball at the basket, to take the ball at the basket, to pass the ball at the basket. And if the Aggies don't get that turned around and nullify that, I think they're really going to have a difficult time winning this basketball game.
Jalen Moore with the big hair and the big game so far, 10 points. Perry leads the way for the Aggies with 11.
Yeah, and Perry has really impressed me in this game, Trey.
He's got the ball right now against Greenwood on the left wing. Man-to-man from the Lobos. Five on the shot clock. Moore a long three. He drops another one. That is 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. He has a complete game.
And he was deep on that one. I mean, really deep.
8 of 14 threes as a team. Delaney can't stop him. That quick first step, and if you don't get him in front of him early, it's over.
And the defense stayed with Greenwood, so he had a clear path to the basket. The defense didn't slide over and help on him.
He's in double figures with 11. Smith drops it in for Moore with the left hand, rolls off. Harris, a big offensive rebound. One of the few they've had, and he'll call a timeout. That's a minor miracle. They win a battle on the boards. They get one there.
Please recognize the newborn 4-year chance to win a
They'll need much more of that. It's been New Mexico winning the battle inside, and they lead by 7 on the road. Lobos lead it by 7 here, second half at Utah State. If you had to hand out awards for the all-hair team, Utah State would take top honors. There's Jalen Moore's look, the sophomore. A lot of hair. And then Sean Harris, the 6th-year senior. Which look do you like the most, Coach?
I can relate more to Moore's because that was my era.
The Dr. J time, right?
Exactly.
The old ABA?
Exactly.
Well, it works for both of them. They're both key components. And there's Moore on the inside of the bucket. And he's starting to heat up now. He's their leading scorer with 15.
Back screen, he flashed across, wide open. Very good offensive play.
Delaney looking for Greenwood. Passes out front for Jacobs instead and away from the ball. We have an offensive foul call on New Mexico. It's on Nganga. And that's 3 on the big man.
Coach Neal is really unhappy. And, you know, the player is standing right next to the official. Why would you move? I mean, it just never made any sense to me why you'd have an illegal screen right there.
Moore calling for it against Furstinger. Wants the clear out. Little half hook off the mark. And the rebound for Jacobs. He's demanding the ball, though, on the offensive end. Greenwood really playing well. One of his best games this season as a Lobo. Delaney on the cut, lays it in.
You know what was smart, Trey? He waited and just waited till everybody moved, and he just kept analyzing and then exploded.
Delaney now has 13. He's 6 of 9 from the field. He's had some big games this season. His biggest maybe against New Mexico State with 22 and 7.
Lobos go back to that zone. Got to get somebody, got to get the ball into Moore in that high post.
Shot clock down to 10. Bolton for Smith. Drives and kicks it. Perry. Long on that one, and Ganga rips away the rebound from Harris. New Mexico led by 3 at halftime, up 7 now. Firstinger. High-low. With Nganga. Jacobs not a big threat out there. Firstinger off the mark. And a big rebound for Perry. Utah State shooting 48%. Moore over Greenwood. Short. Good defense that time.
Yeah, the defense didn't collapse as much, and were able to recover the shooters much better.
Both these teams shooting it well. New Mexico's at 49%. But the rebounding story, all Lobos.
Well, the Aggies have one offensive rebound.
That has been a big story here. That foul on Chris Smith. And we'll take a timeout. 11:48 to go. New Mexico trying to win for the 8th time in 10 games. The Lobos lead the Aggies by 7 here in Logan. Coach Neal has been adamant about his team needing to take good shots. They didn't do it at San Diego State. He says they need to be tougher-minded. They've been conscious about that, really haven't forced a lot of things in this game so far.
I think after that first time out, I think he got their attention, that they have played with greater purpose throughout the remainder of the contest. But now here's the interesting thing. It's only a 7-point game, Trey. If the Aggies keep it close, all they have to do is hit a couple late, and they can walk out of here with a victory.
Look at this struggle over the last 2.5 minutes for Utah State. New Mexico a chance to push this up to a double-digit lead. Delaney. Here's Arthur Edwards, who's checked in. Little floater is good for Edwards, and that's a bonus off the bench for the junior. He had a career-high 8 against Texas A&M earlier this year.
See, that's their 13th point off the bench, and the Aggies don't have any points off the bench.
That's what we talked about. They've got 11 guys that can be a factor for him. Here's Collette. Nice fake. Shot won't go over Jet. Out of bounds to the Aggies.
Tough, because Jet is just so long. His arms reach up there, and if you're not used to that, that can be tough.
Stu Morrill knew the challenges coming in against this size.
I like the fact that Collette, though, is down there trying to make a play, and he's got to use his jump hook, where he's got a little bit more protection on the shot.
Trace Curitan with it, right wing. Perkins, their lead guard, step back 3. Not there, but he's fouled, and this is on Edwards. Can't believe the call. out beyond the circle.
Number 5, Arthur Edwards.
The Lobos are putting good pressure and fighting, but you got to leave a little bit of space so you don't ask that official to make the decision whether it was a flop or whether he actually got hit.
Shooting 3.
And I think the Aggies do a good job of falling in a heartbeat to tell those officials, hey, you know, I got bumped. You know, here's the other interesting thing. The Aggies are the better free throw shooting team. Not tonight.
No, 2 of 8 from the stripe.
Go figure.
Perkins, a Fort Myers, Florida kid. He can't connect on that one either. And this traditionally, Stu Morrill's team have always shot it well from the free throw line. But as you know, it becomes a mind game. 45% from the stripe last 3, and those numbers getting worse here in this one.
See, they're young kids. That's the only thing I can say. They're young kids.
Boy, that's frustrating.
And Coach Morrow shaking his head there just tells it all, you know? Nothing you can do.
That's 8 missed free throws, and it's a 9-point lead for New Mexico. And now Coach Neal wants to spread the court.
And you got the zone back again. So Coach Morrow keeps changing the zones. Or changing the defenses.
Delaney cut off by Collette. Shot clock is at 5. That's deflected. Steal. Perry. Edwards back, and he fouls him. Can't get the bucket to go. Perry becoming a go-to guy along with Jalen Moore. And that's a 14th foul on the Lobos.
Making a lot of different plays, contributing in a lot of different ways. That's why I say, right now, I think he's the X factor.
Rolls that one in. Perry with a dozen now to go with 3 rebounds and a couple assists as well. Great student section here at D. Glenn Smith Spectrum. And the lead is 7.
Looking for the Lobos, here's Greenwood, also Chris Smith, replacing Julian Perry.
Perry gets a breather, as does Delaney. Greenwood back on the floor for New Mexico. It's a critical juncture here midway through the second half.
Got to get somebody in that high post area.
There's that bench play. That's been big for the Lobos. Shot clock is at 8.
Oh, right in there.
Jacobs going to drive it. Cut off, deflected. It's a steal by Moore.
See, the zone's bothering the Lobos right now. Last 2 possessions, they've turned the ball over.
11 turnovers now for New Mexico. Collette step through, throws up a wild shot. Now you can be a little bit more patient each trip down as we near the 9-minute mark.
They've got to get the ball into that high post and start penetrating and finding the open man down inside.
Jet not a threat out there. Greenwood has it with 10 in the shot clock. Dump it in for the big man. Jacobs for 3. Off the mark. And the rebound for Moore.
Not sure that's a shot that Coach Neal was looking for.
Well, the Aggies really need a bucket here. This is a chance to draw it close, get the crowd more involved here down the stretch. And there's Moore on the drive, and he's fouled. He was blocked by the rim. Williams picks up the personal.
They've been running a dribble handoff and handing to the guy cutting, and that time he just kept the ball and exploded, and the defense got a little bit lazy, and boy, he just went after it in a heartbeat. Great offensive play.
Jalen's dad, Jimmy, played at Utah State from 1972 to 1975. He's a North Logan, Utah kid, and having a really good sophomore year. Here's his dad, Jimmy, in the Utah State Hall of Fame.
Great basketball family, you know, and the apple didn't fall far from the tree, did it?
That's right. He learned some lessons from his dad, I'm sure, growing up. 5-point game, and here comes the crowd here. One of the great environments in the West.
Aggies are a little unsure of what they want to get done.
Greenwood, good delivery, but a Jet can't finish it. Perkins, baseline, passed on Jet, hand check foul on a Jet. He picks up the personal. Well, that's tough for a 7-footer to check a 6-foot guy on the baseline.
Well, they didn't play it right, and the Lobos are letting the Aggies go either way off those ball screens instead of saying, no, you're only going to go one way.
7-footer's going to take a seat. That was his third personal. 6-team foul on New Mexico. One more, and Utah State's in the bonus. Smith, cut off on the baseline. It's knocked out of bounds off Greenwood.
Well, Nganga really had a good first half and was very, very productive, and I think that Coach Neal just decided to come back with him.
Nganga, 8 points, 7 rebounds. He's also working with 3 personal fouls. 8 minutes to go. Smith for 3. Over the back. That'll be a foul called on New Mexico. I thought they're going to get Curitan over the back, but it goes against the Lobos. Logwood picks up the personal, and Neal can't believe it. His team is in front, 7:51 to go. Two ties, 8 lead changes. New Mexico 30 to 8 points in the paint, and they have a 5-point lead. Here's the upcoming schedule for the Lobos. It won't be easy anywhere in the Mountain West this year, but they're at the pit for a couple. And then a very interesting road date at UNLV, maybe the most talented team, but they've struggled. And then Wyoming. You like what Larry Cheyat's doing there with the Cowboys.
I've seen Wyoming play twice, and I think right now they are the team to beat in the league. And Utah State has got to go there as well as the Lobos. Their schedules almost mirror each other. It's like one goes and then the other goes.
And Air Force will be next for the Aggies. Air Force coming off a loss to Colorado State. Trace Curitan knocking down the free throw to cut the deficit to 4. He's a junior from Indianapolis. His older brother played baseball for Indiana, the Hoosiers team that went to the College World Series. Athletic family, and he knocks down a couple free throws.
See, early in the half, the Lobos were attacking the zone very well. Last 4 or 5 possessions, they haven't had a clue.
And the crowd is alive and well now at the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum. Student body making a lot of noise.
In the middle of that zone is wide open.
Williams drives it. Nope, a travel. They wave off the basket.
Coach Neal is saying there was an official on the other side of the floor that was close and could make that call, and you're trying to read it from over there.
Coach, you've been in this situation when you're on the road. You don't expect to get most of the calls. You got to fight your way through it sometimes.
Yeah, you got to fight your way through it, but you got to keep, after those officials in hopes that you'll get one or two of the calls.
And there's an offensive foul. Collette is going to pick up number 4, trying to set the screen, and that is a big call here with 7:15 to go.
He's going to bring him out, and it'll be interesting to see how long he leaves him out.
He's only scored twice, but he gives him some size down there.
Yes, he does. And Harris isn't the offensive player that Collette is. And I thought Collette was beginning to really attack the basket.
Williams enters it into Nganga against Harris. You can see the size disparity, but he can't convert on it. And then a travel called on Curidan.
Travel. Lobos basketball.
I don't know about that call, only because he let go of the ball.
Here's Greenwood for 3. In and out. Williams, a big offensive rebound. 31-16 on the glass in favor of New Mexico. Ganga the screen for Greenwood. Delaney spinning off the mark. And there's an offensive foul on the Lobos.
That's a good call.
And for Nganga, that's number 4.
Foul is on J.J. Nganga. His 4th, 8th team foul.
That's the 8th team foul. So Utah State shooting free throws the rest of the way.
And Nganga has a tendency to go too quick or too fast. There's a difference between being quick and being fast. Quick, you're under control. Fast, you're a little bit out of control, and I think he has a tendency to do that.
Now Harris on the line, he's only 2 for 4 from the stripe this season. Just his 5th attempt at the free throw line. Back iron with that one.
They had nailed 4 in a row prior to that one.
Every possession magnified now as we near the 6-minute mark.
Need to get somebody into that high post. There you go. Now you can screen, flash.
Greenwood in the corner. Gets it back with 5 on the clock and buries the 3-pointer. Greenwood is lights out. He's 5 of 8 from 3. What a game for the senior leader. Moore on the inside with a left hand. Nice beat from Smith.
That's twice they've been able to back screen. The defense doesn't adjust, and he's been wide open underneath.
Moore is one off his career high. He has 19. It's a 4-point game. Working the shot clock down. Logwood. Here's Williams against Harris. Bumped. Bank goes in.
He's strong and athletic enough, Williams, to make plays around that basket. And he's got to continue to do that.
6 points for Williams. They go inside for Harris. He's triple teamed in there. Can't do anything with it. Perry for 3. Timeout. 3-point game, and Perry with 16. The freshman from McKinney, Texas, has been sensational.
Defense collapsed and was not able to get back out to the shooters. Now, earlier in the game, the Lobos weren't doing that, but on that possession, boy, they all just kind of sucked in, and then Perry was just left wide open there.
Hugh Greenwood, 5 of 8 from 3 for New Mexico. He has been the big reason why they've done a nice job from the outside. But Utah State as a team, 9 of 17 3-pointers. And Perry has 4 of those.
Oh, you know, as I said, he's been the X factor. He's been the young man that has kept them in the basketball game. Now, everybody's contributed, and Moore has done his thing, but I'm going to guarantee you he has really, really been effective.
Perry a career-high 16. Moore has 19 to lead the Aggies. Greenwood 17 for New Mexico, and Delaney with 13 points. Stu Morrill is such a great competitor, and it's going to be tough to step away from the game, but these are the kind of moments a coach lives for. That down the stretch, well-played game, and he has to love the crowd support. Greenwood from 3 again. Not that time. Offensive rebound. Were they going to count it? They will. Delaney the follow, and he's fouled.
Well, we got to have a replay on that. Now, I tell you what, that was an incredible athletic play.
Skywalker.
Just an unbelievable play by that young man. Let it. He came from that baseline and just timed it perfectly.
Short on the free throw, 5-point game. One of the more dynamic athletes you're going to see in college basketball, Deshaun Delaney. Here's Smith, baseline drive, floater is good, count the bucket, no, count the bucket, offensive foul.
Basket is good. Offensive foul.
3rd on Smith. Release the ball before the charge. Here's Delaney on the other end of the court, earlier.
Watch, well, we won't see Delaney, but we'll see what he does here. Perfect timing to complete that play. He came clear from the corner. And you got to get somebody in that high post area. And the Aggies have got to make sure they just don't get something easy.
Delaney, feet inside Williams, blocked by Moore. Chance to tie on this trip. Great response from Utah State.
There's that back screen.
The feed to Perkins. Again for Perry. It's a 1-point game. And the decimal level has hit the roof here.
That back screen is creating problem. Coach Neal's going to call a timeout here and try and get that resolved. Because they aren't getting any help off of the screener. They pulled the defense way up, and it's wide open underneath that basket.
56-55, New Mexico. The Lobos are trying to run away from it. Aggies have the response. And .49% shooting from Utah State. New Mexico with a 1-point lead. We just had a timeout, and now another timeout called with 3:30 to go in this one.
I'm not sure what this is for. I got to be honest with you, Trey. And the three officials huddling up there.
Vern Harris, Sean Lehigh, and Rick O'Neal getting together here in this one-point game. This is a great crowd here. Always has been through the years. They expect great basketball, and Stu Morrill in 17 seasons, 14 times has gotten his team to 21 wins. And he's the big reason for this type of atmosphere. One of the best in this part of the country.
Oh, without question. And it's just an unbelievable college experience. And I always said I'd rather have no adults and all students at a game. And because the students bring that enthusiasm, that energy, and it just is unbelievable.
You got to win to bring him back, though, and he's done that. That's part of the equation as well. 20 NCAA trips in the history for Utah State, and this guy has been to the postseason 13 times. They got the timeout situation rectified. 3:22 to go. That was the reason for the delay. Here's Delaney on the baseline against Perry. Has a size mismatch. It was deflected. Williams on the interior, blocked, and a foul called on the Aggies. That'll be team foul number 7, so they're now in the bonus.
Lobos did a great job of getting it to Delaney. He took the ball and tried to go one-on-one, and then the defense collapsed, so the big guys were able to go after the ball.
2 on Perry, and now Williams at the line. 70% free throw shooter. Sophomore from Dallas. Into the teeth of the student section, doesn't faze him.
You know, the surprising thing is the Aggies have been to the line 17 times, and the Lobos only 11, which is really interesting.
Gets 1 out of 2, and the lead is 2. And here's a little bit of pressure.
So they got somebody right in the middle of that. Very good offense.
And into Perkins' hands, the first-year Aggie point guard. Moore! And the chance for the lead. And he's a little bit shaken up.
Moore slipped the screen, what we called slipped it. He came over to set the screen and then exploded to the bucket, and the defense was caught.
Career high for Moore, 21 points, 7 of 13 from the field. Shaking off that hard fall. His team is now even at 57 with New Mexico. Chance to give him the lead. All-conference candidate, no question.
Oh, he's an outstanding basketball player.
And the Aggies have the lead. It was a long road back, but they've got the lead in front of the home crowd.
And they go to the zone. Coach Morrill's trying to get him fired up, get the crowd into it.
Jet Williams blocked by Moore, but a foul. They're going to say from underneath, he got him with the body.
Foul is on Jaden Moore.
Lobos did a great job of putting the ball on the baseline, and then Williams just flashed across and got it right inside. Very good offensive play. They've got to continue to attack that basket.
Devin Williams shooting 2.
Moore second, 2 free throws for Devin Williams. 1 of 2 last time at the stripe.
And the other thing is the Aggies have been able to get some easy baskets with those back screens and then the slip screen.
Gets a big one there to tie the game at 58. And they're going to stay with a little token pressure here against Perkins.
Collette's back in the game.
9 lead changes in this one. We've been tied 4 times. We're tied again. Perry, bumped and foul. We're going to get Greenwood this time. That's his second. And it's going to be 2 free throws coming for the Aggies.
His second. 10th team foul. Double bonus for the Aggies. Shooting 2.
That does not look like a guy that's in a peaceful state right now. Craig Neal.
No, he's trying to figure out how he can stop those penetrations to the basket. And see, again, they're bringing the big men out on the floor, and thus the Lobos' big guys aren't able to block and defend the basket.
Perry now 4 of 9 from the free throw line, and Stu Morrill's team up by 2.
Go back to the zone.
They're all standing here at the Spectrum. Greenwood. And Smith the rebound. Collette had it deflected. Jacobs, Williams. Follow's not there. A foul call. It's going to be on Collette, and that will be number 5 if it's Collette.
His 5th.
He is fouled out of the game.
Great athletic play here. Could have called a foul there. Yeah. In fact, I thought there was more contact on the first one that blocked than the second one.
And that really cost Stu Morrill's team because Collette is done at the 135 mark. And he's upset at his big man. Oh, and he got teed up as well, Coach. That is a really bad moment for David Collette.
Got to use, just lost himself. And Coach Morrill let him have it.
So you foul out, and then you compound the problem with a technical foul. And Hugh Greenwood goes to the line, a 73% free throw shooter.
Hugh Greenwood.
Collette was warned, and he was then issued the technical. Here it is.
See, he kept looking and walking away instead of just walking away.
No.
It's been a great season for the freshman Collette, but a bad moment there. And now a tie game and a Jet with 2 free throws. Chance to give the Lobos the lead. Obach is a 68% free throw shooter. Not bad for a big man. And he gives him the lead.
Now the next question, do the Lobos zone or man? Come on, come on.
You're the
Make
coach.
the decision.
And how about a Jet? Ice in his veins, knocks down a couple big free throws.
Got to stay man. You don't want to give up the 3. See, it was an easy decision, and he's in the man. But you got to get Edgett to pay a little bit more attention to helping inside.
They almost turn it over there. Here's Perkins. Driving baseline, cut off. Perry thought about it. He's going to drive it. Stripped. A Jet, the steal.
Big play here. They get a basket.
Jacobs, the junior from Las Cruces. It's in his hands now with Greenwood. Williams. Jacobs. 5 on the shot clock. Jacobs with 2. Greenwood the long 3. Got it from the left wing. What a game for number 3.
great penetration and the ability to make that shot.
The answer not there from Perkins. A Jet the rebound, and he's fouled. Hugh Greenwood with 22, 6 3-pointers, a steal, and then forces it there, and then they get the bucket on the other end.
Really used his hands well. You saw him just reach in and jar that thing loose. A really great follow through. He's hit 3 like that tonight, Trey, where the clock is counting down. He's had a heck of a game.
You count on your seniors to be leaders in tough environments on the road, and you can't ask for a better performance from your point guard.
Well, you know, before the game, I said that he was the one young man on this team that's got to knock some threes down to stretch that defense. And boy, has he come through tonight.
They are 6 of 14 from 3, and all 6 of those threes coming from Hugh Greenwood.
See, that's atypical of them. And as a result of that, they've been able to offset a lot of the Aggies' three-point shooting.
This has been a well-played game, Coach. 48% shooting for New Mexico, 47% from Utah State, and a great environment.
Well, you know, here's the other thing. The Lobos have controlled the tempo for a significant amount of the time. They just stood there and dribbled, let that clock tick down, then to attack. That's what you anticipated the Aggies doing. But instead, it's been the Lobos.
2 free throws for Ajet. And he is calm, cool, and collected at the strike. It's a big one here. Chance to make it a 3-possession game.
Now do you go zone?
Oh, and he airballs that one. So we have a 2-possession game. Now you want to keep them from shooting the 3 here.
Well, if you go zone, the one thing you can do with the zone is make them move the ball a little bit longer as opposed to a quick shot. And if they hit a 3, you're still 3 up. But that'll have to be the decision that Coach Neal makes. And what Coach Morrow's got to do is set up exactly what he wants run on this possession. And you think the ball is going to be in Moore's hands at some point. I will say this. Don't shoot a 3 just to shoot it. If they've got an open shot, take the 3. If not, the important thing is to score and score as quickly as you can. You can drive that ball to the basket because Coach Neal is going to be saying, now, fellas, don't foul, don't foul.
Right.
So they may have something easy to the basket.
They're more right there. He's 4 of 7 from 3, or he's 3 of 4 from 3. Perry is 4 for 7 from three-point land. They've got a lot of options, but they only have 21 seconds to work with. Possession arrow pointing the Aggies' way. Here's Perkins. Opts not to fire it up there. It's going to be Moore. Rolls off. Tough break out of bounds. It's going to stay with Utah State, but now only 9.4 left.
Yeah, and they let Moore have the ball a little bit too easily there. Coach Neal is wanting something. I'm not sure what he is asking.
The Aggies have 1 timeout left if they can get a bucket here. Perkins, the 3 from Perry, off the mark. Up over the backboard, it's going to go to the Lobos. And the Lobos are in great shape now to get out of here with a road victory.
All they have to do is get the ball inbounds. You got to get the ball inbounds, though. And then the Aggies have got to foul right away. And Oak City miss, come down. But you're right, it's really tough at this point. But get it in.
Delaney back to Jacobs, into Greenwood's hands, and that is going to do it here in Logan. A 66-60 win for New Mexico. They've won 8 of their last 10. It was hard fought. Interior play was big, and of course the play of Greenwood as well.
The interior play dominated, but Greenwood made the plays when somebody had to score to keep the Lobos either in it or on top.
Hugh Greenwood with 22 points, 6 of 11 from 3. Delaney with 15 points and 6 rebounds. And they win in a very tough environment here in Logan, Utah. For Bob Donewald, I'm Trey Bender saying so long from Logan. To watch this entire game on replay as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to Watch ESPN or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. The Lobos win a tough one on the road by 6.